360, and welcome into HSN and coin collecting. Mike, there's a couple reasons I like working with this man. I get to wear my high heels.
True fact? True
He's
fact.
nice and tall, it's great.
Yeah.
And
she's 5'1", I'm 5'6".
yeah, we're teeny people.
Okay, okay, not actually true.
No, but I just love learning, and it's just such an exciting thing to start collecting in the world of coins. So let's get started with this, because this is really incredible. The World War, Silver Dollar, and Army medal sets.
That's right, 6 of these already gone. Now, I want to explain. The United States government did a Centennial $1 Centennial for World War I earlier this year, okay? They then did a special 2-coin medal set, which is what we've got here. They released that in February. They sold it for only, I think it was 30 days, whatever was ordered in 30 days is what they did. But they didn't ship it until now. And once again, we were talking about this. So what happens is this was sold out from the United States government forever ago. It shipped basically Monday. We finally got these coins. Now, here's the issue. Since they took a Memorial Day set, this 2-coin set, and sold it months and months and months before Memorial Day and never really told anybody about it, what they ended up with is some of the single rarest metal, coin and metal sets ever produced by the United States government. They did one for each branch of service, so there's 5 different 2-coin sets. The maximum mintage is 15,000 sets. That's going to be the Army set, is 15,000. So there's only 15,000 of these coin sets that were ever made, and only 249 of them are certified first day of issue, Annex Perfect, and they're available exclusively here. So the United States government released these, and all of a sudden, when they shipped them last week, they go out, and all of a sudden, people realize just how incredibly and phenomenally rare. This is an ounce of silver. This is an ounce of silver. These are solid silver. Now, what they've done is this is the World War I Centennial. Isn't that absolutely?
Oh, wow.
That's absolutely amazing.
Stunning.
So you have the barbed wire of the trenches mixed in with the flowers at the end of the war is what we have. Now, what they did with the metal is they were contemporaneous to World War I. This was the Army design in 1918. This is what it looked like. It's changed. It looks different now. This is a scene from trench warfare from 1918. Wow. So they matched this to the 100th anniversary of 1918, which is why they put this out in 2018. The thing to keep in mind is not only are these absolutely a perfect pair of these, but from a collectible standpoint, the rarity is absolutely stunning out there in the marketplace. Yeah, absolutely.
So again, what the visual here, it just like brings you right back, doesn't it?
On this one?
Yeah, look at that.
Yes, oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, around there, yeah, that's barbed wire, because that was kind of the hallmark of World War I, was the barbed wire, the razor wire, and of course, all the things of World War I. And they only did 15,000 of these sets. You have to understand, when they did the 10th anniversary American Silver Eagle, they made 30,000. It's one of the great American rarities. And that coin sells for $30,000. This set is twice as rare, and it is the most common of these service sets that was put out by the United States government. You can see this is a United States certified dollar coin that you're going to have here, a $1 commemorative, certified with the medallion or the medal that was sold out months and months ago, and finally they shipped it, and all of a sudden they authorized 100,000 of each one of these.
So this is the World War I and Army. We're going to move on. We've got the World War I with the Air Force.
Now check